Hello peoples, this is BetaNights, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. In the last episode, we came back here to the sealed temple to open the Gate of Time, only to find that the imprisoned had broken out again, and had to fight it again. And once again, this time I had arms. And did I say again enough times? Whoa! God, these things are multiplying like rabbits. Anywho, so in this episode, all we have to do now is head inside and finally open the Gate of Time and hopefully reunite with Zelda. It seems you were successful in imprisoning the monster again. That I was. You have my thanks, Beta. As do you, Groose. I do not wish to dwell on what may have happened if you two hadn't been here. Duh. Aw, you give me too much credit, Granny. You were the one who got me to stop feeling sorry for myself and put my energy into doing what I could to help. I did what was necessary to get you to realize your full potential. Beta, you must wonder just what it is you've been fighting out there in the Great Pit. There is much I could tell you, but suffice to say it is the root of the evil we face. When you pass through the Gate of Time, you shall learn more. We may seal it and reseal it into its prison 1,000 times, but it will always shatter the bonds that confine it. Such is its awesome power. We must destroy it at its source, or suffer this fate again and again. There's no time to lose. Hit the gate with a Skyward strike. Come on already, charge the sword of yours with that sacred force stuff Granny was talking about, and zap the Gate of Time. Right on, Granny. Indeed. Now, Beta, go. Go to the gate. There's two things I want to say before we get to this. One is that, again, as you guys know, these last few episodes, I'm using my new mic. This time I have the mic right next to me, while the episodes before 73, so 72 and the few before that, I was using it a couple feet away from me. If you can, guys, I would like you to check it and just let me know what, just how you prefer it. And the last thing I'd like to say before we get on to this next part is this upcoming cutscene and everything is kind of a bit emotional, so I'm gonna try and cut down on any comedy or anything like that. I'm gonna try and take this serious. Are we playing Tetris here? And then Link goes blind. Okay. I'm sorry, I said I was going to try and take this serious, but then again, this isn't the part I was talking about quite yet, so. Seriously, there's like 3D Tetris here. God, that is beautiful. If I wasn't so afraid of one of those spinning around and giving me a concussion, I would be pretty damn amazed too. God, everything looks so pixelated. Yeah, I thought this was an HDTV. Wow. JonTron would be amazed at this. Faeror, Din, and Nayru. So this is how this thing was created. I mean, we saw this thing over at the Temple of Time, over in Lanayru, but my God. Do not fear it. This is what we have waited for. At long last, the gate has been reactivated. Standing before you is a path that transcends the flow of time. It is a portal to the past, to the very place where Zelda now waits. Yeah, guys, this is what we've been waiting for. Go bravely, Beta. If everything is as I suspect, the reunion with Zelda you fought so hard for lies beyond this gate. Look at Groose. He knows. He just knows, like, wait, what about you, dude? Nah, don't worry about me. I'm gonna hang back here, Beta. This super monster doesn't know when to quit, and Granny here keeps yapping on and on about how we never know when it might bust free again. Someone's gotta stick around and guard the place. Might as well be me. God, guys, this is what I'm talking about Groose just changing completely around this point of the game. Besides, if I'm not here, who's gonna look out for the old girl? I mean, just in general, he's become such a better person. And you know what? Nah, forget about it. Oh, too cool to admit it, dude. We all know what you were thinking. When you see Zelda, tell her I said, what's up? I will, Groose. Don't worry about that. God, that panning away shot. Or not panning, but zooming away. Even Link knows how much he's changed. But now, it's the time for destiny. And staring at Link's boots. I just love those moments when you can't really tell when I'm going to start talking again. Temple of Hylia, huh? So, this is the sealed temple. In the past? And Impa's here.
Hey!
Hey! At last, I've been expecting you, Beta. You were doubtless overwhelmed, so I'll explain things as simply as I can. This is the Temple of Hylia, though it will come to be known as the Sealed Temple sometime in the future. You stand in the past, ages before your own time. Here the goddess, Hylia, has only just sealed away demise. And little time... demise? What the heck is demise? And little time has passed since the goddess sent the outcropping of rock into the sky that will one day become Skyloft. It is true to its name. You have passed through the gate of time to an era in the distant past. Yeah, this is Link to the past, alright. Sending Link to the past, that is. You will have many questions, but for now you must proceed back through the great doors behind you. Yes, guys, the giant doors that we couldn't quite enter at the time in the beginning of the game. It is there that the person you've risked life and blood to defend waits for you. So Zelda's back there? Wait, so I can actually go see Zelda now? I say that as I pettily look for any treasure that may have been left here. Guys, this is where the cutscene starts that I was talking about, so here we go. There she is. You've come so far, Beta. I'm glad you made it. Oh, what, Link? Not one of your signature smiles? I imagine Impa filled you in on everything. We've traveled very far from home, to the distant past. In this era, the wounds inflicted on the land during the battle between the goddess and the demon king, known as Demise, have not yet healed. All the fairy tales about that war we heard growing up in Skyloft, incredible as it may seem, they appear to be all too real. I think it's time you learn the whole story. Let me try to explain. Aww, Zelda's lullaby. The old gods created a supreme power that gave anyone who possessed it the ability to shape reality and fulfill any desire. They called it the Triforce. In his thirst to make the world his own, Demise readied a massive army of monsters for war. He sought to take the Triforce for himself by force. The goddess feared for her people. She used her power to send both them and the Triforce into the sky on a slice of earth she cut away from the land. Smurn Rock became the new home of our people, In time, it became to be known as Skyward. Well, at least it apparently succeeded in keeping us safe for so long. God, look at this angle right here. There's Link in the background. After a long and fierce battle, the goddess, Hylia, succeeded in sealing away demise. However, soon after the Demon King was imprisoned, it became clear that the seal would not hold long against his fearsome power. Hylia had suffered grave injuries in her battle with the Demon King. She knew that if he broke free again, there would be no stopping him. If the Demon King were to free himself, it would mean the end of the world for all beings of this land. That's horrible. In order to put an end to the Demon King, Hylia devised 2 separate plans and set them both into motion. God, this whole cutscene in general, you'll see what I mean. This is nothing. It hasn't even started yet. Oh my God! Look at that! Look at that look! Oh, his mouth just opens even wider. God, he is just stupefied right now. Just in sheer amazement of all that's happening. First, she created fire. She made the spirit that resides in your sword to serve a single purpose: to assist her chosen hero on this mission. Her second plan was to abandon her divine form and transfer her soul to the body of a mortal. That's crazy. She made the sacrifice, as you have likely guessed, so that the supreme power created by the old gods could one day be used. For while the supreme power of the Triforce was created by gods, all of its power could never be wielded by one. I guess that would be the wise thing to do. That way, friggin' Din, the goddess of power. That way Din couldn't just be like, I want to try using the Triforce one day, and then just go friggin' blitzkrieg on everything. Knowing this power was her last and only hope, the goddess gave up her divine powers and her immortal form. So basically she gave up her powers just to be able to use the Triforce to seal away demise. You've probably figured it out by now, haven't you, Beta? You are the chosen hero. And I, Zelda, I am the goddess reborn as a mortal. Yeah, guys, so not only is Zelda... Not only was Zelda pretending to be the goddess, or playing the part of the goddess in the beginning of the game, and not only was she the spirit maiden going on a quest for the goddess, she is the goddess incarnate. God, how much bigger of a role could you ever give Zelda? I mean, this is nothing. Freaking screw Princess Zelda. This is Goddess Zelda. This is putting the Princess Zelda we all know and love, freaking finally to the test. The day of the ceremony, Girahim's tornado tossed me out of the sky and down to the world below. I was nearly captured by the demonic forces, but I was rescued at the last moment by the old woman who lives in the sealed grounds. I had no memory at all of my existence as her. Wait, Impa, where are you going? No, don't be sad. You just didn't get there yet. What, were you supposed to catch her immediately from the tornado? You couldn't have seen it coming. But she explained it to me. She helped me to remember who I was and what I had to do. I set out to pray at the goddess statues located at each temple across the land. This is starting to sound like another cross between either the other Zelda games or Metroid Prime 2. The different temples holding the light. Each statue stirred up memories within me. After I visited them all, Impa, an agent of the goddess, led me here, to the past. See, Impa, you had your point, you protected her. And for that, I truly do thank you. God. Whenever I see these symbols right here... Okay, guys, little side thought. Whenever I see these symbols between the 3 major symbols around it, like the lines with the little circles, they look almost like notes. Part of me wants to try playing them on an ocarina and see what happens. And who knows, maybe it's just Zelda's lullaby for all I know. Or it could be nothing. It could just be decoration. Okay, guys, and there is one clip coming up. One certain angle between Link and Zelda that looks incredibly like something from Ocarina of Time. If I can, I want to kind of put that on screen to show you guys what I mean, but I mean, it's uncanny how close it looks. All of this is part of the same great effort to prevent the revival of demise. Yeah, so a giant hunk of rock was sent to the sky. Fire was created, the Master Sword was created, kind of. Freaking all that happened. Demise was sealed away as the imprisoned. In case you haven't figured that out, it's kind of obvious by now. And she became Zelda, the goddess reincarnate. She gave up her all-powerful form. All just to prevent Demise from coming back to life again. It's insane. Stripped of his true physical form by the seal that binds him, he takes the shape of an abomination. But even in this hideous state, he's more than capable of devouring this land if we allow him to do what he desires. Devouring him is right. Look at that freaking mouth of his. He'll just literally eat everything. We must stop him from freeing himself from the seal that imprisons him, at any cost. That is why I intend to remain here in this time and place, to sustain the seal as best as I can. As long as I continue this vigil, we may be able to prevent the Demon King from fully reviving himself in our own time. Wait, what? Wait, so you're... What? No! She's just gonna say... Okay, guys, right here, this this look that she's given right here, it's like them standing close to each other, Link looking at her looking kind of dejected, kind of just sad. It's like the goodbye scene. If any of you guys have ever seen the ending of Ocarina of Time, I'll show either a screenshot or like a small clip, like somewhere on the screen. I probably won't do an overlay. I'll do a comparison. Don't worry, it won't be very spoilerific or anything. It just shows them standing right here. But this whole cutscene in general has a lot of references to Ocarina of Time in some ways. It's kind of subtle, but if you think about it, it does connect a lot to it. And hey, if you're going to be similar to a game, why not Ocarina of Time? I must maintain the seal that Hylia, rather, that I, created so long ago, and keep it strong for as long as I am able. With the memories of my former life returning to me, I can see now that this is my purpose. No, your purpose is to stay on Skyloft with me. Beta, the goddess created Fi and the Great Blade she's a part of for very specific reasons. For the task of standing against Demise in his monstrous form, he now assumes rest solely on your shoulders. That's alright, Zelda. For you, I'll bear the burden of the world on my shoulders. Back in our own time, you've already driven him back into his prison twice now. I can't thank you enough for that, Beta. You don't have to thank me. Oh my god, look at his eyes! He just looks positively horrified by the whole idea of this. God, it's like everything is finally just hitting him all at once. Like he's finally realizing how severe this is. It's like that moment where it's like you know you're going through something and you know it's important, you know it's big. But then that moment where you realize just how big it is. It's like Link had no comprehension of what was going on before this. He just looks positively terrified at the thought of just Zelda just going away, not being with him. And just everything that's happening, not just that. Positively horrified, would that be negatively horrified in that case? During your long journey, you've grown so much. You learned wisdom from solving devious puzzles and traps. You gained power by honing and tempering both yourself and your sword. And by overcoming the trials set before you by the goddess, you found true courage. And anyone who even knows the slightest bit of Legend of Zelda, those three qualities are the ones that make up the Triforce. Now that those qualities reside in you, you are worthy of wielding the power the old gods left behind for our kind. You can claim the Triforce. Wait, so I can get the Triforce in this game? Awesome! Hook me up! Oh my god, and this is probably like one of the most intimate moments just in this cutscene in general. One of the most intimate moments, just him placing his hand in hers and kneeling down. Just that alone. It's the closest they've even been since she was taken away. The last time he was ever brought closer was probably when he caught her. Valiant hero, you have endured many hardships and journeyed far in your quest to reach this place. Along your travels, you have found wisdom, power, and courage. And for this, I shall bless your sword with the goddess's power. May it give you and your sword the strength to drive back the abomination that threatens this land. Oh yeah. The mark you see upon the back of your hand is proof that you are the hero of legend, and that within you dwells sacred power. is the mark of the Triforce. Stand now, Beta. Draw your sword. Wait, draw my sword? Why am I drawing my sword with you here? The goddess has blessed your blade, and the Master Sword has at last achieved its ultimate form. Guys, this is the Master Sword we all know and love. Now, anyone who does not know that tune that played, that little music that played during the transformation sequence, shame on you all. Shame on you all. That, if I'm not mistaken, was the music that plays when traveling through time in Ocarina of Time, when you first get the Master Sword. But, oh my god. This is just incredible. The sword is now imbued with the mythical power to drive back demons, and only Beta may wield it. Beta, before I say another word, I feel like I owe you an apology. You see, the mark of the Triforce on your hand is the symbol of the greatest power in this world. If you can obtain the actual Triforce, we will have the power to vanquish demise once and for all. The problem is, among the countless souls in the world, only a select few, those with an unbreakable spirit, can wield its might. It's impossible to know the true reason why the old gods created the Triforce, but I have a theory of my own. I love this bit, how she's just like, kind of contemplating why they created the Triforce in the first place. And, God, just her slowly walking away from Link, it's so dramatic. The gods created the Triforce, yet they specifically designed it so that their own kind could never use its power. Somehow, I think that may have been their way of giving hope to all the mortal beings of the land. Which brings us back to you. To face demise and give the land hope, the goddess Hylia needed someone with an unbreakable spirit. That someone is you, Beta. But spirit alone wasn't enough. You had to overcome many trials and awaken the hero within yourself, so that you could wield that supreme power. Now guys, the next few lines coming up in this next minute or so are among my favorite in the game. And so Hylia, and so I knew that if it meant saving Zelda, you would throw yourself headfirst into any danger, without even a moment's doubt. Of course I would. Why would I ever doubt myself to help you? I used you. Zelda, you didn't use me, not for a second. I don't care what your reasons were. I don't care what your reasons were. If it meant saving you, I would have thrown myself into the danger headlong, without even a second glance. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for pulling you into all this, Beta. Oh, you don't have to be sorry. But you have to understand this is a war, and the fate of the land hangs in the balance. I need your strength to tip the scales in our favor. All that may be well-intentioned and true, but it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't excuse my actions. But I'm prepared to pay the price for what I've done. To ensure that the seal holds, I will remain here in this time, deep in sleep, for thousands of years. What? No. Just that. God, just her turning and the tears flying off of her cheek like that. Beta, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry for the way I had to involve you in all this. No offense taken for any of it, Zelda. But until my memory of things before our lifetime returned to me, I had no idea we were fated to carry such a heavy destiny. Before all this, I was happy just spending my days, hanging around with you in Skyloft. I wanted that feeling to last forever. No. While it's true that I am Hylia reborn, I'm still my father's daughter and your friend. I'm still your Zelda. When Demise is finally gone, there will be no more need for the seal that binds him, and then I'll be able to wake up. So I'm going to ask you a favor, sleepyhead. Ever since we were kids, I'd always be the one to wake you up when you slept in. But this time, When all of this is over, will you come to wake me up? I promise. I promise, Zelda. When all this is over, will you still love me? Goodbye, Zelda's lullaby, and goodbye, Zelda. So sad. God, just that, him running up to the crystal as it's forming, just like in a panic, knowing what's about to happen. And then him, God. And then him turning around and crying, or just bowing his head down and crying once it's all done and gone. Oh my God. That, guys, you have probably just witnessed what is most likely my favorite cutscene in the entire game. And I just can't get enough of it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I can. Okay, guys, I know this is probably going to be a long episode, unless I'm going to cut, like, the first, 10 minutes out and make that an episode on its own. But, guys, for now, I can't take much more of this for now. This has been BetaNights for an epic episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. In the next episode, we talk to Impa, most likely head back into our own time, and find out what we need to do next to save our dear friend. Until then, I bid you all adieu. Have a good night, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.